The Ottoman Empire, one of the most powerful and enduring empires in history, ruled vast territories across Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa for over 6 centuries. While much has been written about its military conquests, cultural achievements, and administrative prowess, one of its darkest aspects remains largely overlooked: the reality of white slavery. Contrary to popular belief, slavery in the Ottoman Empire was not limited to African captives, but also included a significant number of white slaves, primarily from Europe. These individuals, taken through raids, piracy, and warfare, were forced into servitude, concubinage, and military service. The shocking truth of white slavery in the Ottoman Empire reveals a complex and brutal system that thrived for centuries, shaping the lives of countless individuals. The sources of white slavery in the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman slave trade involved multiple sources, with European captives forming a substantial part of the empire's servile population. One of the most notorious sources of white slaves was the Barbary corsairs, pirates operating from North Africa, who raided European coastal towns and ships. From the 16th to the 19th century, these pirates seized thousands of Europeans, selling them into slavery in Ottoman markets. Christian sailors, merchants, and even entire villages in Italy, Spain, France, England, and Ireland fell victim to these slave raids. Another significant source of white slaves was the devshirme system, a unique practice through which the Ottoman state forcibly took young boys from Christian families in the Balkans. These children, primarily from Greece, Albania, Serbia, and Bulgaria, were converted to Islam, trained and placed into the elite Janissary Corps, the empire's formidable military force. While some rose to prominent positions, including that of Grand Vizier, the reality remained that they were taken from their families against their will and indoctrinated into the Ottoman system. The fate of white slaves, hard labor, military service, and the harem white slaves in the Ottoman Empire faced various fates, depending on their gender, age, and skills. Male slaves were often put to work in grueling conditions, serving as oarsmen in galleys, laborers in construction projects, or soldiers in the Janissary Corps. The life of a galley slave was particularly brutal. Chained to their benches, they endured starvation, disease, and merciless beatings. For women, the fate was often even more distressing. Many European women and girls were forced into the Ottoman harems, where they became concubines to powerful men, including sultans, viziers, and governors. Some rose to positions of influence, like Roxolana, a Ukrainian woman who became the wife of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. However, the vast majority remained powerless, subjected to the will of their owners. Religious and cultural justifications for white slavery. The Ottoman Empire justified slavery through religious and legal frameworks, primarily Islamic law, which permitted the enslavement of non-Muslims captured in war. White slaves, particularly Christians from Europe, were often considered legitimate spoils of war. The enslavement of Europeans was not only an economic practice, but also a political and religious statement, reinforcing Ottoman dominance over Christian Europe. Ransom, escape, and the end of white slavery. Many white slaves sought to escape their captivity, while European governments, the Catholic Church, and charitable organizations worked tirelessly to ransom enslaved individuals. Religious orders, such as the Trinitarians and Mercedarians, were dedicated to negotiating the release of Christian captives. Some slaves managed to flee, while others converted to Islam and assimilated into Ottoman society. By the 19th century, increasing pressure from European powers, combined with the weakening of the Ottoman Empire, led to the gradual abolition of slavery. The British and French in particular exerted diplomatic and military pressure to end the trade in white slaves. By the mid-1800s, slavery in the Ottoman Empire was in decline, though it persisted in some regions until the early 20th century. Conclusion: the shocking reality of white slavery in the Ottoman Empire is a forgotten chapter of history that challenges conventional narratives. While the enslavement of Africans in the transatlantic trade is well documented, the suffering of thousands of Europeans who fell victim to Ottoman slavery remains largely overlooked. Understanding this dark aspect of history not only sheds light on the complexities of slavery, but also serves as a reminder of the human cost of power and empire.